Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy King Legacy and welcome back to the channel. Now today, honestly, I think I'm gonna kick off, a little side series. This isn't gonna affect any of the main series that I have on my channel, the series that if once in a blue moon I actually do update. But yeah, today I'm gonna be talking football. Now, don't get me wrong, this is something I should have did a long time ago and something I've wanted to do for a long time. And if I'm being completely honest, I probably should have did this at the beginning of the season, but it's okay because the way I see it, this video is me laying down the foundation for next season, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, hey man, no time like the present. So with that being said, let's get into what made this video happen, like what really pushed it over the edge. And the answer to that is people kept on spamming me. No cap. Listen, man, I was being nice, okay? I was chilling, I was cool. But you know what? They kept on sending me memes. They kept on sending me BS. They kept on sending me stuff like, Lamar Jackson is gonna save America. And you know what? I've had enough. All right? So guess what? I'm sticking with the Chiefs. Fight me. But let me make something clear first. I want both of us, as in me and you as the viewer, to understand each other's perspective. Do not get it twisted. I am fully aware that the Baltimore Ravens are an absolute juggernaut, and this is going to easily be one of the hardest games that the Chiefs are going to have to face up against the entire season. I understand that, and I want all of you to understand that I genuinely have love and respect for each and every single one of the teams in the NFL. Yeah, I really did say that. Check this out. Man, I'm a Panthers fan, okay? I'm from North Carolina, so the Carolina Panthers are my main team, even though so many people are jumping ship. Can't be me. But this is just for some perspective, because the reality of it is that I love football so much that I legitimately watch almost every single game throughout the season and postseason.
Stop the cap.
I'm not kidding. I don't mean no highlights after the game is over or just watching stats or anything like that. No, I legitimately watch almost every single game from start to finish. And it's at the point where it's like, I know all the players who start on all the teams. I know all the coaches, owners. I even know the commentators that comment on the games, like, Tony Romo, Jim Nantz, know all of them by name. And I even know refs, the freaking refs by name. Everybody else is saying ref. What are you talking about when it's a bad call? I'm over there saying, come on, Sean Hockley, what's going on? Yes, that's an actual ref in the NFL. But my point is, I watch too much damn football, okay? But it's because of that I feel like I can approach a conversation like this with a lot less bias than some people. Because look, at the end of the day, everyone's gonna have a little bit of bias, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. But I just wanna establish that I'm not gonna be someone who's gonna be all like, the team that I wanna win is the best team in the NFL and everyone else is garbage, because that's just extremely one-dimensional, and that's absolutely not what I want for this. So now that that's been established, let's actually get into the bulk of the video. So obviously this video is me choosing the Chiefs, and I will dissect them piece by piece in just a moment. But I actually want to start by giving props to the Ravens, so that way I can show and prove that I'm not completely biased against them. So first things first,
Rest in peace, Sucker Phil.
we gotta give props to Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's just winning MVP this season, and that's coming from someone who, Patrick Mahomes is my favorite quarterback in the NFL right now, but Lamar Jackson deserves MVP. He's done nothing but just prove himself the entire season. And I hope that everyone who is saying all of those things, like, oh, he's just a running back, he's not a pocket passer, he doesn't deserve to get all that money. I hope you guys are eating those words, because Lamar Jackson has once again did nothing but prove everyone wrong who was doubting him this entire season, and he just simply deserves some respect on his name. Their offense is straight fire. First off, they got OBJ, and I've been a long time fan of his, and I'm gonna tell you, if he's healthy, like, we know what time he's on, all right? Zay Flowers deserves his flowers because he's just been playing unbelievable his entire rookie season. Nelson Aguilar has stepped up, and I literally just got a notification off my phone that Mark Andrews has been elevated off IR, and he's gonna play. Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson has that same connection that Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey have, that Brady and Gronk have, that Cam Newton and Greg Olsen have. And if those two are playing, it's gonna be a problem. And don't even get me started on the run game, with the two front runners being, of course, Lamar Jackson, but Gus the Bus Edwards. That's all overseen by Todd Monken. Dangerous. And then, of course, they have the #1 defense. And when you start naming off players like Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, I mean, it's just stud after stud after stud. This is by far going to be the toughest challenge the Chiefs are ever going to have to face this season, and it's not even close. On top of that, Justin Tucker is one of the best kickers the game has ever seen, and considering everything is overseen by John Harbaugh, listen, I understand why so many people have the Ravens as favorites. I mean, they're a hell of a juggernaut. I admit that, but here's the thing. The Kansas City Chiefs have a secret weapon. Although, like, I guess at this point, it's not even a secret weapon anymore. Like, they're open carrying at this point. And it's number 15, Patrick Mahomes. Let me tell you something, man. We all know about Patrick Mahomes on a normal daily basis, right? But we're not talking about regular season no more. This is playoff Pat. He is a different demon, okay? And the fact that he has literally made 6 AFC championships consecutively. His entire career, he has never not been to the AFC Championship. Let that sink in for a minute. At this point, and I know a lot of Brady stans are not gonna like this, but it's no longer a if Mahomes is in the conversation with Brady. He's in the conversation with Brady now. Obviously, yes, he's got to win about 5 more Super Bowls. Could be 4 after the end of this season. Who knows? But he's got to win, and he's got to have this same level of sustained success. And I think if he can do that, he definitely will continue to chip away at Tom Brady. And it's literally at that point right here, right now, where if you don't think that Patrick Mahomes is a special player in this league, you got to be about as delusional as a Cowboy fan. I'm sorry. Like, it's right in front of your face. But let me actually bring up some stats rather than just talking about them. Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship, not the playoffs, just the championship game. He has a touchdown to interception ratio of 14-2. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I don't know. Who knows? His QBR in his first game was 117. And, I know a lot of people are going to talk about a certain penalty in that game, but, that's another discussion for another time. First game, 117. Second, 120.4. Third game, 127.6. Fourth game, 91.3. That's the one he lost to Joe Burrow. The last one was 105.4. Besides one game, every game he has had a QBR over 100. My point is, clearly he can show up in these big-time games, but the question this season wasn't about him. It's always been about, can everyone else around him show up as well? Thus, leading to my transition to the offense. So here's the thing when it comes to KC's offense. The literal biggest obstacle that they've had to face up against has literally been themselves. I 1000% guarantee you that if the KC offense hadn't dropped all of those passes, hadn't tipped the ball, which led to an interception, or, commit certain game-ending penalties, people would be treating them as if they were a completely different football team just off of that one factor alone. They would most likely have at least 3 more wins, which would result in them having the 1 seed and home field advantage. But here's the thing, those are a bunch of ifs, and unfortunately, we don't live off of ifs. What happened has happened, and we are living in the present. And thankfully, thank the Lord, it seems as if things have actually started to click. First off, there's Kelsey. Now, we know that in the past couple of years, obviously, he's had much more explosive seasons, but he looked like the Kelsey of old when he played against the Bills, and that's all we can ask for this man. He's gonna be just fine, so I'm not even worried about him. And then up next, listen, we needed a receiver to step up, and the question was, who was that receiver going to be? And the answer is Rashee Rice. Man, I'm so proud of him, and I'm so happy to see what he's been doing the past couple of games, and he's only gonna get better. So I can't wait to see what he's gonna do in this game. And like I said, I'm just so happy that he stepped up to the plate, he accepted the challenge, and he's just on go mode right now. I love it. And let's not forget Noah Gray, because he's been playing well as well. So, you know, we gotta give him some props. And then we also gotta do it. We gotta give props. I know y'all might not want to. Give props to MVS, all right? He caught the ball. He showed up, man. Hopefully that transitions over to this week. So let's go ahead and touch on the running back room, starting with Isaiah Pacheco. Now, man, I hate how everybody's roasting how he's running and everything, but listen, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a young Kareem Hunt when he first started playing with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, this man, he lowers his shoulder and he's gonna go out and he's gonna fight for every single yard that he can get. How can you not respect it? That man is a fighter and he ain't gonna quit. And I just love that sort of energy. That's what we need. And then there's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Listen, man, if he can play like how he played against the Patriots, hey, that boy gonna be dangerous, all right? Just keep that in mind, okay? And then we get to the offensive line. So, the interior of the offensive line has been playing amazing this season, but unfortunately, that injury bug started to show its head, so, you know, that's a little thing to be on edge about. And as far as the tackles go, well, look, as long as Jawan Taylor doesn't give us 1,500 false starts and holding calls, we should be fine. But, you know, if we can just hold up long enough for Mahomes to make a play, then we're gonna be fine. But it definitely is a point of concern, especially with that Ravens defense on the other side. And speaking of defense, let's talk about KC's. So first up is obviously Chris Jones. I mean, that man is an absolute monster, and thank the Lord that I don't have to line up across from him. And I instantly feel bad for anybody who does have to line up across, because he gonna smack your ass, all right? Plain and simple. And unfortunately, the injury bug wants to make its way around the defense as well. So hopefully, L'Jarius Sneed and Willie Gay are all good to go. And what's crazy is that people think that outside of those big names on the defense, there's no one else there to step up, which when you have someone like Trent McDuffie, who is an all-pro player, that is so beyond disrespectful to that man, because he has been playing fantastic, and so has everyone else who has had to step up for the other players that were injured. I'm telling you, man, Steve Spagnuolo knows what he's doing with that defense, and I promise you, he's gonna have them ready for game day. And then lastly, you sprinkle in Bucker as kicker, and it sounds to me like you got a full, complete football team. But I digress. The point of this video was to remind all of you that even in a down year like this, the Kansas City Chiefs are not a bunch of scrubs. Yes, from a statistical standpoint and on paper, it seems like Ravens are the safer bet, but see, here's the thing. The actual games are not played on paper. But anyway, before I let you guys get on up out of here, there's some things that I wanted to touch on real quick. Like, I got a small little list, and I'm gonna speed run through it real quick. So first, this is my Super Bowl, and I think I'll close out with that, but keep that in mind. This is my Super Bowl. Next, the whole home field advantage argument. Listen, we're not gonna sit up here and act like the Bills Mafia is a Carolina crowd. Bruh. They tried their best to disrupt the Chiefs, and they're unfazed by it. Don't get me wrong, I know how awesome Baltimore fans can be, and I know they're gonna wanna help out their team, but I don't really think that that's gonna be as much of a factor as some people think it is. So, and up next, we gotta talk negatives. And I'm letting you know right now, I'm prepared, okay? Because either way this game goes, if the Chiefs lose, people are obviously gonna be negative and make ridiculously absurd claims. So there's that. But if the Chiefs win, I'm expecting people to play the blame game. They're gonna say stuff like, oh, the NFL is rigged, there's a script, or they're just gonna resort back to the default, you know, blame the referees, which is kind of crazy because the thing is like, if you actually watch the Chiefs, you'd know that they're amongst one of the most penalized teams in the league. Seriously, Just look at Jawan Taylor on offense, which I spoke about earlier. And then defensively, there's L'Jarius Sneed, who I think he is one of the most penalized corners in the game. You know, because he's so physical, which I love, by the way. But if they actually watch the games, they realize that, yeah, Kansas City gets their fair share of penalties. So that argument is always a head scratcher to me, but might as well be talking to a wall. And the last thing that I want to touch on is, we're talking about it. Why the hell are y'all so damn mad at Taylor Swift for? Like, seriously, that's like I'm genuinely asking a question. Like, what's that all about? The only consistent reason that I've seen from people is that they show her too much, but the only time they even show her is if the Chiefs score, and even then, it's only like a, 5 to 10 second showing at that? So you're telling me that throughout a whole game that usually lasts, 3 to 3.5 hours, give or take, them showing her maybe, 40 seconds max is too much for you to handle? Huh? I don't know, man. Like, obviously, I'm just messing around with y'all now, but she just sits there. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. If she was harassing fans or something, or throwing drinks on fans, then I could 100% understand, but she's just not doing that. And if anything, Jason Kelce, love that man, by the way. He was the one who stole the show last time they was there, so she's just living in y'all's head rent-free. Haters gonna hate, I guess. But anyway, that'll just about wrap things up, and I'm not gonna delete this video, by the way. Like, if the Chiefs lose, I'm keeping this up, and I will stand on what I said. However, I probably will end up rooting for Lamar if they beat the Chiefs because, first of all, he deserves respect on his name. But second, the AFC is just a different monster than the NFC. And I mean, that's no hate to the Lions. Listen, Jared Goff, congratulations. Dan Campbell, love what you did with the team. And then 49ers, I mean, Kyle Shanahan is Kyle Shanahan. And then all those playmakers. And obviously, you guys know how I feel about Christian McCaffrey since he was in Carolina for all those years. But yeah, AFC, different juggernaut. And like I said, this is my Super Bowl game. Whoever wins this game, I will boldly say is going to go on and win the Super Bowl. So this game is going to be absolutely unreal. Let me know all of your opinions in the comments down below. I should have did this since like the season started because I love football so much. Football's a part of me. You know, my family's actually played in the NFL before, so yeah, I should have did this. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. My final score prediction is going to be 27-24 Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Let's get it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.